hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Hello, how are you doing? So, today's video is going to be my top 5 anime, or my top 5 anime series slash franchises, but you get the point. So, I thought that this video would be good so you guys can kind of see what my tastes are and or what my lack of tastes are, because I'm sure there's going to be those people who have differing opinions, but comes with being human. It's also interesting to see other people's viewpoints. So, without further ado, let's get into the top 5. Number 5 is Samurai Champloo. Now, Samurai Champloo is simply one of the best anime I've ever seen. And that's not me being modest. That's me being pretty factual about my own views. So, the best thing about it is the episodic nature and how each story in the episode resolves itself near the end. So pretty much, it's pretty episodic. Anybody can jump in, check it out, go in without knowing what's going on, what the story is, and have a great time coming out the end of the episode. But each episode still has a little hint of continuity between them so that they're all linked to a larger story that eventually resolves itself at the end, which I might add is a really great ending. So after that, another reason why I like Samurai Champloo are the characters. For example, we got Mugen, who's pretty much don't give a shit about anybody attitude. Then we have Jin, who is also a more respectful, but he's more of a traditional samurai. So it's cool to see how Jin and Mugen play off of each other all the time. So, who else do we have? We also have the lovely Fu, who is pretty much a regular girl just on her own quest to find the samurai who smells of sunflowers, which is the beginning of a beautiful journey, I may add. Now, people who have seen Cowboy Bebop, you may see a few similarities in here, and that is because Samurai Champloo is made by the same person who created Cowboy Bebop. I think that's a big enough accolade in itself for you to watch the show. Also, the soundtrack in Samurai Champloo is just amazing. I like it better than Cowboy Bebop's, but that's probably just because I like hip-hop more than jazz, so can't go wrong with either, to be honest. One of the more adult-oriented manga on this list slash anime is the horror slash sci-fi manga anime known as Parasyte. Now, this series has a compelling story. Earth is invaded by microorganisms known as parasite that once inside of their host, they continue to take over the brain of the host and turn them into cannibalistic monsters. Pretty scary. So, after that, our main character Shinji manages to somehow stop himself from getting completely taken over by the parasite. And now he has a huge problem. Now the problem is that the parasite's trapped in his body, he can't get it out. But the parasite also has a mind of its own, and soon the both of them have to learn to coexist in order to survive. And that's the main driving point of the story. It's really interesting how these two characters come together and have to learn to basically survive against their own species and the opposite species. And, Parasite's also a study of what it is to be human. What does it really mean to be a human? Does it mean that you have to be a human, or what does it really actually mean? It's a pretty deep question, and Parasite strives to answer it. The first true shonen on this list makes its appearance in the form of the 90s classic Yu Yu Hakusho. Now, most people may look upon this as just another generic shonen anime, but it's anything but. It takes a lot of classic tropes and puts its own spin on it. The protagonist also is not the paragon of all that is good and just in the universe, and I think that's one of the main things that makes Yu Yu Hakusho such a standout shonen series. Yusuke Urameshi is a bit vain, hot-headed, vulgar, and even perverted at sometimes, and he's all the more better for it, to be honest. especially in a universe full of goody two-shoes characters who I'm not going to say names, but you guys get the point. Yu Yu Hakusho also has the distinction of having one of, if not the best tournament arcs in anime manga history. The fights are also pretty hardcore. You can almost feel every punch and kick. The show is almost worth watching just for one reason alone, and that reason being a man by the name of Kuwabara. Now, hear me out. I can hear the groans already. DBZ is certainly not the best anime of all time, and it's definitely not perfect. However, one thing it was revolutionary. It created a literal era of anime. It birthed new concepts and brought new attention to old ones. It also took anime to a new level, in popularity, of course. But while it didn't have a particularly deep story, DBZ's plot does have some great themes, if you're willing to peel away the mindless martial arts layer. It has themes of redemption, family, slavery, and honor. Those are only some of them, but I think DBZ deserves a place on this list solely for having the most badass anti-hero / rival in anime history in the form of the Saiyan Prince, Vegeta. One of my first loves in regards to anime was being introduced to the Gundam franchise at a very young age, and I'm very thankful for that. For this video though, I'll be focusing in on the original Gundam anime series from 1979. In a world full of super robot anime, Yoshiyuki Tomino's Mobile Suit Gundam dared to be different by depicting its mecha as gigantic war machines / vehicles. It not only uses robots in a realistic fashion, but it also depicts the realities of war in an equally powerful way. Nobody's safe in the Gundam universe, just like real life. The series also gave birth to the Universal Century timeline of Gundam, which is rich with complex interconnected stories, similarly to the universe of Star Wars. I don't want to spend all day here drooling over Gundam, so do yourself a favor and check out the original series or even the shorter movie compilations. Thank you guys for watching, and please let me know what you think in the comments. What are your top 5 anime? Till later.